Okay.
Here we go.
Performance for you. If you know the words, you can join in too. Put your hands together if you wanna clap as we take you through this monkey rap. He's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's finally back to kick some tail. Here's a coconut gun. Can fire in spurts. If he shoots ya, it's gonna hurt. He's bigger, faster, and stronger too. He's the first member of the DK crew. DK, Donkey Kong. DK, Donkey Kong is here. Kong's got style, so listen up, dude. She can shrink inside the super move. She's quick and nimble when she needs to be. She can go through the air and climb up trees. If you choose her, you'll not choose wrong. With a skip and a hop, she's one cool Kong. He has no style, he has no grace. This Kong has a funny face. He can handstand when he needs to and stretch his arms out just for you. Inflate himself just like a balloon. This crazy Kong just digs his tune. DK, Donkey Kong. DK, Donkey Kong is here. He's back again and about time too. And this time he's in the mood. He can fly real high with his jetpack on, with his pistols out. He's one tough Kong. He'll make you smile when he plays his tune. But gremlins beware, 'cause he's out. Donkey Kong. Finally, he's here for you. It's the last member of the DK crew. This Kong's so strong, it isn't funny. Can make a gremlin cry out for money. Can pick up a boulder with relative ease. Makes crushing rocks seem such a breeze. He may move slow, he can't jump high, but this Kong, one hell of a guy. Come on, Cranky, take it to the fridge. Walnuts, peanuts, pineapple smells, grapes, melons, oranges, and coconut shells. Oh yeah, walnuts, peanuts, pineapple smells, grapes, melons, oranges, and coconut.
I got Donkey Kong, and now I'll get you too, Junior.
I'm Donkey Kong Jr., and that's my papa. I'm trying to save him, and boy, do I need your help.
Nintendo's Donkey Kong Jr., the arcade game, is now the Super Home Video game.
Save your papa, huh? Save yourself first.
He's chasing me with snapping jaws, and I could fall.
Help Donkey Kong Jr. save his papa on your ColecoVision, Atari 2600 VCS, or Intellivision video game system.
Game players everywhere, please help me save my papa.
We believe there are 5 perpetrators.
I've never seen anything like it. There's fruit everywhere. Look what they did to my taxi.
Donkey Kong is back in an adventure so big, it's taking the country by storm.
In reaction, the governor has called in additional troops.
We believe one of them looks like this.
They're just not civilized.
We urge caution as they are heavily armed with fruit.
I'd like to tell you the situation is under control, but it isn't.
This turbocharged game has better graphics, more moves, bigger bosses, huge worlds. It's so big we included an expansion pack to get it all in.
They didn't even tip me.
And now, this. Donkey Kong 64. And you thought insanity was crazy.
Heaven help us all.
Beast you loved on Super NES.
And now we've captured him on Game Boy in an all-new game with all new enemies and worlds. Donkey Kong Land. New for Game Boy and Super Game Boy.
It's a jungle in there. Donkey Kong Country rated E for everyone on Game Boy Color.
Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing? Happy Thursday, and welcome to another episode of Legacy Loading. And this episode, as you can kind of figure out, is about Donkey Kong. And joining me is Mr. Nerdporial Lifeform himself, Mr. Brian. How are you doing?
Doing good. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Actually, it was AC's idea to get you on this episode. He said we should do a Donkey Kong episode with our buddy Brian. So there you go.
Oh, no. Is this a trap now?
I don't think it is a trap.
Be a shaming ritual?
No, I don't think so. But
okay.
I think it's going to be a very fun time nonetheless. So yeah, as you probably guessed, that was the DK wrap from the opening of the Donkey Kong 64 game. And of course, we have another little bit of commercials. I like to do all this stuff, but now for Legacy Loading, to have all these fun, cool little commercials. And I didn't realize that Donkey Kong Jr. was on like the ColecoVision and everything else there too.
Yeah, I nearly forgot about that myself. Yeah, that's what they used ColecoVision originally, and then they eventually released that and DK or Donkey Kong on NES's Donkey Kong Classics. That was my introduction to Donkey Kong.
Yes. Like I said, I'm not the biggest Nintendo fanboy. I've been slowly working my way through these IPs, but everyone always tells me Donkey Kong is one of their more iconic franchises. And ironically enough, this is the episode of GeForce Icons that we're going to be covering today. It will be about Donkey Kong. So
okay.
Before we begin, Brian, what was your history with Donkey Kong?
Sure. I was born in the 80s, so my first exposure to gaming was the NES. You know, my parents bought the system back in '89 with Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, and then the following year, 1990, my Mario 3 came out, and I wanted that game. I saw that like everywhere at the mall. Like there were posters at all the different stores showing Mario 3 with the famous yellow box, the famous yellow poster with with Mario's the raccoon. But there was another game that I think we rented first, and it was an orange and blue box. There's this gorilla holding Mario while Mario has a hammer and is hitting him in the head with it. And that ended up being, Donkey Kong Classics, and it was two games in one. It was Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. So I ended up those two games, Mario 3 and Donkey Kong Jr. I got for Easter that year in 1990, and that was my initial introduction to Donkey Kong. And then, of course, Super Nintendo came out right shortly after that, and then I remember Donkey Kong Country had like this crazy commercial, and then we rented the game. I played it. I played the hell out of it. Then all of a sudden, the game just ends with the ship. I thought the final pirate ship was going to be like a whole world, and it wasn't. It was just a single boss fight. It was, and I was like, "Who the hell is this guy? He's the main boss apparently." So, and then there was all these fake out deaths with King K. Rool and that, and it was just like it drove me nuts. And then I actually owned the sequels 2 and 3. I got those for Christmas 1995 and 1996. So, yeah, 2 might be my favorite. 2 might be my favorite because I love that they expanded the first game, so they had bonus levels in the first game, but it was just like getting like extra lives was basically the reward for the bonus games. So you didn't really have to find them all in order to unlock everything, because it was just bonus. It was just it was just getting the bonus bananas and stuff. So in 2, the bonus games, you got a new type of coin, a new type of currency, and this currency allowed you to access an additional world. And then when you basically find all the coins and you unlock all the levels of this additional world, you get a second ending. And in order to get the second ending, you actually have to beat the game first. So just because you beat the game the first time, it doesn't mean the game was over. So I like that thing. And then that thing continued in 3. And then they kind of expanded a little bit further with the banana bird, finding all the banana birds. And then there was a third ending. And then, of course, Donkey Kong 64, played that. It's basically Banjo-Kazooie 2.0. In a way, I mean, they took a whole level from Banjo-Kazooie that they didn't use and put it in Donkey Kong 64. And I love that game too. And I always was wondering, what another 3D game would look like. Donkey Kong 64. Well,
you're breaking up a little, Brian.
Well, I'm currently playing it now. Can you get me? You got me now?
Yeah, you sound much better.
All right, sorry about that.
You're fine.
I'm kind of away from my mic. So, but yeah, so I've been a fan ever since. I was ecstatic when the Donkey Kong Country Returns games were announced. I must have played the Wii one 3 times. The only issue I had was you couldn't play as Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong was always on your back unless you played the multiplayer. I think the same goes for Tropical Freeze. So, but yeah, I didn't play any of the any of the Barrel Blast games or the games that you had to use the barrels, the GameCube barrel peripheral for. I didn't play any of those. I thought they were a little too gimmicky for me. I might try one of them. I might try one of the one that was given positive reviews, but I don't know if there's a way to play it with just normal controls. So,
right.
But yeah, that's my I mean, I'm a big fan. I love the platforming. The platforming is just like it takes Mario up to like 11. Bonanza here is a different type of game, and it's taken me some getting used to. Extra Zero told me that he had a buddy that felt the same way as me, so I kind of took that in regard, and that's part of the reason why I'm playing it. Plus, our friend AC, shaming me for not playing it, for being a LARPer.
Says Barrel Blast is fun but hard as fuck.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's my take, or that's my history with the DK franchise.
Okay, then.
Lots of Christmas, lots of happy Christmases.
Sounds like it. So, enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road, and let's get watching this episode of G4 Icons, the Donkey Kong episode.
It started with a flop.
They released it to test audiences, and people hated it. They had a bomb on their hands.
But a young visionary turned
How's it
failure
sound,
into
too, by the way?
success.
Can you hear it?
Sounds great. I can hear it.
Job at Nintendo and was told, save this thing. It's horrible. Make it better. Miyamoto did
I think that's Per Schneider.
And created a legendary
Oh yeah, that is
character.
him. Yeah, much younger.
Yeah.
It's like 90s.
My friends coming home
or
from
early
the arcade telling me
2000s.
about this new game called Donkey Kong, and that I had to go check it out.
I was so blown away by just how quickly I wanted to sit for hours and hours and just play.
His rise stirred up some controversy.
They got sued by the movie studio for violating the copyright.
I'll be honest, I
on King
didn't
Kong.
play
He
3,
was
Donkey
almost
Kong 3.
forgotten by the gaming world.
There was this 10-year gap.
Yeah, I didn't either. In fact, I didn't.
I didn't know it. I didn't know it exists. I didn't know it existed until the the internet. Until actually I did my Donkey Kong video, that I learned about it.
Between the last Donkey Kong game and then Donkey Kong Country.
But he became a pillar of gaming history.
Donkey Kong definitely deserves a place in the pantheon of character gods.
This
big
is
words.
the tale of the one and only Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong.
Yep.
Okay.
How old is this episode? Is this from the 2000s?
Yeah, 2003 or 2004.
I'll be honest, I haven't watched. I don't think I've
In
really
1980,
watched
arcade
much of
games such as
G4.
Pac-Man and Tempest are king. And everyone is gaming.
They popped up everywhere. 7-Elevens would carry them.
By the time we get to the middle 80s, grocery stores are carrying them. The funny one, of course, is that at least one funeral home.
What is GBF get mentioned here? I don't know what that means. Do you know what that means?
GBF? No.
AC, explain.
Had a couple of arcade machines in its basement. It was an incredible phenomenon at that time.
It wasn't like a kid phenomenon. It was like really across the board phenomenon in terms of who was playing arcade games.
That same year, a Japanese trading card company called Nintendo decides to get in on the action.
Nintendo wanted a piece of that pie. And so they developed a game called Radar Scope, an arcade game.
But the game turns into an explosive disaster.
Yeah, so apparently here, they basically just copied Space Invaders and just rebranded it as Radar Scope, and this is what failed, and they wanted to repurpose the cabinets for Radar Scope, and so Nintendo of America was headed by Hiroshi Yamauchi's son-in-law. Minoru Arakawa, and you actually, what's funny is he's in the he makes, I don't know if you've seen the Tetris movie, but him and Howard Lincoln make an appearance in that movie representing Nintendo. So, which reminds me, I do have to finish that movie. It's a good movie, but he basically he is like, Nintendo of America is basically in jeopardy because of this, and they need a game that will be a hit so that they can stay afloat.
Yeah.
And Yamauchi basically went to Miyamoto because Miyamoto started Nintendo in '77. So he's been with the company, as long as Star Wars has been out. Imagine that. But Miyamoto didn't have any projects. He didn't have anything to do. So they gave him the responsibility of designing a game. So what happened was he basically was looking at some older properties as inspiration. Everybody knows that Popeye, the triad of Popeye, you have Popeye, you have Bluto, and you have Olive Oil, was basically the inspiration for Donkey Kong, Pauline, and Jumpman or Mario.
Yeah.
But also the whole I think Beauty and the Beast comes across too, the whole damsel in distress, basically from both of those properties, and he basically designed a game, and he wanted to make kind of like a comic strip, so it wasn't just like a single. It's just a single, picture on a screen. When you get from point A to point B, it goes from one screen to another screen, and then to another screen to another screen. Which was, I thought it was common. I didn't think Donkey Kong was the first to do it, but apparently, from what I read, they were. And then, of course, the other thing that it was, really, revolutionary was the whole idea of not only moving Jumpman, but, well, he's called Jumpman for a reason. The big deal is that he can jump, he can move, and he can jump over barrels. I mean, that blew people away. So, and that's what made Donkey Kong the stuff of legends. But they didn't. What's funny is Nintendo at the time didn't have any programmers, so they hired a company. I don't remember the name. Was it Ime Geki or something? They hired a company. They got programmers from a company. I don't know who had the connections. Maybe Yamauchi had the connections. Maybe Gunpei had the connections. He must use some company resources to contact these guys. But these guys came he got 4 programmers come in and make his design, his vision a reality. And that's where Donkey Kong just comes in and becomes a big hit in North America, and that's why we still have Nintendo of America to this day.
Well, we covered a lot of that stuff too with the Gunpei Yokoi episode too, how Gunpei himself actually detested the success of Tetris too, because he felt it took away from him. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. Was he the one that came up with Dr. Mario?
Yes.
Was Dr. Mario made? I forget if Dr. Mario was made as a His
It was.
response to
And then
Tetris?
it was towards the end. Obviously, what left the company too. Not too much longer after that.
That was because of Virtual Boy, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly. I think.
Then AC says here, Garrett Bobby Ferguson. I have no idea who that is. Who is that?
I don't know who that is either.
So there you go. Say no more. But then we got Mr. October Mike joining us saying, "Ooh, banana." Yes, ooh, banana indeed. And we got Mr. Salty Traveling Sea. He said, "What the hell is going on here?" He's saying,
up?
Brian dropping
What's
that
up,
Vatican archive level of retro gaming knowledge.
I mean, the reason why I was able to remember this because I just was reading about this. I was doing my homework before the stream, so I wasn't gonna leave Adam hanging dry.
For sure. All right, let's continue.
To test audiences, and people hated
Hey, it was Pear Schneider. I
It's
knew it.
just not good. They had a bomb on their hands.
This failure creates a new opportunity for a young artist.
This man named Miyamoto called in a favor with Yamauchi, the boss at Nintendo at that time, and said, "Don't you want to give my son a job? He's an artist. He can design cool little characters and work on new arcade games."
And his name is Shigeru Miyamoto.
There were actually about 3 or 4 designers before me, but I was the first person to enter Nintendo as an industrial designer.
Shigeru Miyamoto got a job at Nintendo and was immediately...
You know, he hasn't really aged that much except for the gray hair. He looks the same.
And he didn't really get the gray hair until like this decade when he turned like he's 73. He's gonna be 74. I mean, like from what I heard, like, you know, I mean, maybe it's a Japanese thing, and this is something that AC can probably confirm to us, but like I think once they pass retirement age, I think Japanese people at companies just have a reduced role. I mean, I don't know if that's true.
He just sheds his his responsibilities.
Even though he's the chief he's the CCO. They created a position just for him. He's the chief creative officer. So he's the one that has made. What's funny was, I was watching. So my dad, when my dad was still with us, what year was the first Game Awards show?
Like it was in the 2000s.
It was like 2011, I think, or 2010.
No, like the first Game Awards show was on Spike TV. Remember?
Oh. Well, it's the one where they announced Revengeance, where they announced Metal Gear Revengeance. So it was that one, and of course, I think that they and they had like what was the best? What was they awarded a game series, and they awarded Zelda, and Miyamoto was like the only person from Nintendo at the thing. And my dad's like, "Who is that guy?" I'm like, "Dad, that's the guy that designed and created Mario." Mario 3, Mario 2, or Mario 3, the first Mario, the games he used to play when I was real little. He's like, "Oh, really? That's him?" I'm like, "Yep, that's him."
To be honest with you, I just think it's because he smoked a lot of cigarettes and it preserved him. That's my theory.
Well,
I cannot confirm or deny, but he's a Japanese man.
I can't imagine Miyamoto. I can't imagine Miyamoto smoking.
I can't imagine Miyamoto not smoking. That's the difference here.
That'd be fun. I would pay to see or maybe have someone create a picture of him just smoking, just smoking like
he's
smoking like
from
Humphrey
Marlon
Bogart.
Brando. He's like the iconic photo of Marlon Brando smoking. He just photoshopped Miyamoto on there.
Yeah.
And then of course October Mike here explains it very well to me. It's a regular show reference for a giant head in which Mordecai and Ribby had to beat his high score in an arcade game.
I have no idea what that. I have no idea what
but
that
then
means.
AC here says he's a meme of a real person that might show up. I think I know who he is now. The guy who has the world record for Donkey Kong. There was a big controversy that he got it with an emulator.
Oh, okay. I've heard of this guy. Then I've heard something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
I heard he cheated.
That's like the big controversy behind it. And then CAC agrees with me. Dude, they smoked really hard up till the 90s.
I want to see a picture. I just want to see a picture of Miyamoto with a cigarette in his mouth, reading like a document.
Nintendo does what they did to Walt Disney and just Photoshop all the cigarettes out.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious. You know that, right? Walt Disney, horrible smoker, and
oh yeah. I mean, we all know he died of lung cancer. He was like showcasing Disney World. Like that was one of his last things he ever did was like he made a video of himself showcasing Disney World and describing how it's going to be like this new city.
But like how you were doing your hand gesture, there was a cigarette in his hand when he was doing that stuff, and then they edited it out because it's child friendly and stuff like that too.
Yeah, that sounds.
And then
about
AC
right.
says there's an interview with one of the Star Fox devs meeting the Nintendo leadership and talked about how it was a smoke-filled room. It checks. It does check out. It sounds
like Yamauchi. I could totally like see him smoking. Like I mean, you look at him. He looks like like 70s Yakuza. Like he looks like someone who will have you killed.
He looks like every Japanese grandparent. That's what he looks like.
That too. And I forget. Like his family like owned would they own the Seattle Mariners? Was it the Mariners that they?
I don't know about that one. I'm not going to comment on that one.
He owned a baseball team at one point, or his family did, or something.
Well, I don't know about that. I would have to look into that one actually. What's his name again? How do you?
Hiroshi Yamauchi.
Hiroshi Yamauchi baseball. Let's look that up real quick.
Yeah, his family when he passed away, his family sold all their stock.
You're right. Hiroshi Yamauchi, the former president of Nintendo, was the principal owner of the Seattle Mariners MLB baseball team from '92 until his death in 2013.
Yeah, I don't think he. I heard somewhere that I don't think he realized that he owned the team or something, or someone bought it for him or something, and he forgot about it. I don't know.
Learn something new every day. That's actually interesting.
He put to use on radar scope and told, save this thing. It's horrible. Make it better. Miyamoto did exactly that. He saved it by saying it's so bad we can't even use it. Toss it out. We're going to use the same technology to create something new.
From the ashes of Nintendo's first failure comes an entirely new game.
The idea came up to take a really popular cartoon character and make a game for it. The Japanese thought it was a good idea to take Popeye, who can punch people and always has to save olive oil, a damsel in distress.
I just love that description. He's like, the Japanese thought it was cool because Popeye punches people and saves women.
Yep. Hey, I can't. The whole damsel in distress thing, is just. I blame Nintendo for having me, like that trope.
All right, let's hear what he has to say.
We began development on that game originally with the idea of using Popeye in it.
And it seemed like a really good idea for a video game, but it wasn't meant to be.
Now, this we knew because they covered that in the
Nintendo
Gunpei
can't
episode.
secure rights to use Popeye because of legal issues. Miyamoto creates a game in which players must rescue a girl from an oversized ape. He calls the game Donkey Kong.
Here comes this game with this anti-hero.
So apparently, the name Donkey, they called it Donkey Kong because Kong obviously gorilla, and Donkey because of apparently Donkey Kong is stubborn, like he won't give up Pauline, or he won't give up trying to knock Mario off with the barrels or something. I think that's why. Why. And do you know about the lawsuit Universal tried to sue Nintendo for the name Kong?
Yeah, they're going to cover that on
copyright.
Here. They basically,
Are they?
They mentioned that at the beginning that there's a lawsuit, so we will hear more about that in a little bit of detail soon, probably.
All right,
let's continue. We're only about 4 minutes in.
Well, technically ape, climbing up a skyscraper, and it had this horrible title, Donkey Kong.
The opening cinematic, for the time, has Donkey Kong grabbing the girl and starting to climb the ladder, and then he...
That was not included in the Donkey Kong Classic.
Him climbing up with the girl?
Told you the story.
Yeah, I first saw that playing Donkey Kong 64 when you played the arcade version.
Attractive female.
I was like, how is this different? I was like, holy shit, how is this version in Donkey Kong 64? Because I think in the I think it was at the factory area, there's an arcade. There's an arcade. The Donkey Kong arcade game is in the Donkey Kong 64 game, and you play it. And I thought that was awesome. I like that. I like that little thing that they did. And I that's how I played the actual arcade game. It didn't just have 3 levels. It had 4 levels. There was like a cement factory that was added, or that was in the original game that wasn't part of the classics, compilation. And that whole cutscene of him climbing the ladder with Pauline, that's something I also saw there for the first time as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I figure I should that. I might have said that before.
I hope you're back, Mike, and everything is fine now.
And you're the hero who's coming to a rescue. To set the stage for many video games to come.
Yeah, even him climbing, taking her away and climbing, that was also not in the classics version either.
I didn't know that.
The whole story behind
It just cuts to the next one.
An interesting one because I think it was Miyamoto. Miyamoto wanted to find a good name for his Kong title that wasn't King Kong, and so he looked in the dictionary for the word stubborn, and of course in the dictionary it said stuff like stubborn like a mule, stubborn like a donkey, and boom, for some odd reason he latched on to the whole donkey thing and called it Donkey Kong.
You know what? It would have been funny in the alternate universe. It's called Mule Kong.
Mule
there
Kong.
You go. That's a good word to say, right? It really rolls right
Mule
off the tongue.
Mule Kong
Yeah.
World.
We're going to get on the Mule Kong ride.
Mule Kong ride. Very depressing. It's a very slow game.
It is.
Compared to Donkey Kong.
Miyamoto's new game is ready to ship, but will it face the same fate as Radarscope?
The US distributors weren't so happy with the title, with the look of the game. They thought it was too childish, At the time, the games in the arcades were Space Invaders, shoot 'em ups. You had games like Missile Command, It was always about saving the world from the alien invaders or evil Russians or whoever.
Yeah.
I think early on there were a lot of arcade games out there, some of which weren't successful. People were questioning how successful was the video game industry going to be. And here was this new arcade, and nobody was quite sure what to make of it.
Wait a second, Donkey Kong? If you think about it, it's pretty ridiculous. So imagine the way the US distributors must have felt when here comes this team of Japanese video game makers, a toy maker, and says, got this great game called Donkey Kong. And they're like, oh, bomb. Space Invaders, that's the title. Missile Command, save the world. So they weren't too enthusiastic about it. Nobody thought this thing would take off.
I hate it when that happens.
I'm kind of shocked that they thought it was going to be trash, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know who. I read that some people were telling Miyamoto this. I'm like, who was? It must have been some few douchebags in the company that probably was telling them, "Oh, this game's going to fail. No one's going to play this type of game." Yeah, fuck off.
It's kind of weird to think about.
Just
Well, it's
jealous.
not even. I don't even know about that. It's just, I guess it was that whole like peer review, market research kind of thing. He's like, you gotta play it safe. The kids, they like the booms and the explosions and the seizures. They're not gonna like a game called Donkey Kong. What is a Donkey Kong? Is it a donkey ape? I don't know.
No, I don't know. I don't know either. Holy shit, donkey. What are you gonna do? Just stand around being a jerk?
I mean, technically, the closest that we got to an actual Donkey Kong was the zebra form in Bonanza.
Oh yeah. Well, with the I've only used. I used it like you're just galloping across the ice. I think that's the only time I've ever really used the zebra form.
Well, no, it's because zebras are closely related to donkeys. That's why.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Fun fact of the day.
I learned something.
And then Mr. Salty Traveling Sea says, I was a teenager when that arcade version came out. It was an instant hit. Other kids would have stacks of quarters on the machine to show they were going, and they weren't going anywhere.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Quarters. Galloping we gotta go back to the Galloping Ghost.
Yeah. Hopefully when it's warmer this time and less furries.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember that. That was weird.
Yeah, it was weird. I was like, oh, hello. These are furries.
I think a few of them actually took off their. I think a few of them actually took off their. What do you call it? Helmets.
Their heads.
Their heads.
Their mascot costume.
Mascot. Yeah.
Well, they got to test for their STD somehow, right?
Yeah. All right.
Let's get going.
It's June of 1981, and Nintendo's new game slowly makes its way to arcades in the US. It doesn't take long for the new game to turn heads.
I remember my friends coming home from the arcade telling me about
I
it.
have no idea who Evan Wells is, but it's funny to me that he was the game director at Naughty Dog during this time.
So what did Naughty Dog make at this time? This is before Uncharted, right?
This was Jack and Daxter era.
Oh, Jack and Daxter era. Okay.
Yeah. So this was right after their big high from the PS1 era. And then when I think they were bought out by Sony at this point, and then they focused on making Jack and Daxter.
I never played those.
Are they
platformers, shooters, shoot 'em up?
So they're platformers, but the first one is very kid friendly, and then after that it goes to like edge of the edgelords.
Oh, okay.
Jak 2 and Jak 3 are very much, it's like 90s edge, but it's early 2000s edge more than anything else.
Okay.
Jak 2 is great. It's one of my favorite PS2 games of all time.
Okay.
They are on the PlayStation 4 and 5. You can play them natively.
I'll have to look up the gameplay. Check it out.
Yeah, it's basic platforming for the first one, but the second one it gets a lot cooler, I think, if you ask me.
Okay.
New game called Donkey Kong, and that I had to go check it out. So, the next weekend I was down at the arcade.
The first time I saw Donkey Kong was in the arcade.
Zoe Flower. That's a fucking name.
No, I was so blown away.
That's a fake name. That's a fucking fake name.
Of course it is. Hours and hours and just play. Get over the barrels and get to the top, and I must have played that game.
She's also a freelance journalist. I have no idea who this bitch is. How did she get in here? Who does she know?
She knows, maybe she knows a guy pretty well. Maybe the producer of this. Maybe she's, knows him in other ways as well.
Let's see what's going on with this girl. I'm very curious. Oh, she's still around. She's an award-winning independent journalist, filmmaker. This looks like the same girl. Yeah, I guess she works at the BBC now.
Oh no.
I don't know. I was curious about this. I've never seen this woman in my life.
30 hours.
It was a brand new gaming experience, being able to climb ladders, being able to jump, out the control you had over this guy. It was totally something new, and I was hooked instantly.
Donkey Kong becomes an instant sensation. More than 65,000 Donkey Kong arcade units are shipped to the U.S. in its first year.
That's impressive, actually.
Yeah.
Once the arcade game got out there and we started to see the reaction of gamers, we knew we.
How do you say this name? Llewellyn.
It's basically Llewellyn. Yeah.
What's her deal? Do you know her?
I do not.
Beth Llewellyn, Director of Public Relations, Nintendo.
I wonder if she's still there.
I wonder so too. Nintendo, ironically enough, has a really high retention rate of its employees. I know that. Ironically enough, the only outsider was Reggie Fils-Aimé, right? Like, he was the one that they actually brought in to try to turn Nintendo around, if I recall correctly. Right?
Yeah, because I forget, he worked for Pizza Hut before, and he helped pizza. He helped rebrand Pizza Hut, and it became successful again.
Yeah.
So everybody loves. I mean, I don't know. Everybody loves Reggie. Heck, I like Reggie. Yeah. My body's ready, Reggie.
One day I want to do a series about that, because there's a couple good documentaries about Reggie, and then also I think he's putting out a book, or he put out a book recently.
Oh yeah, I heard something like that. I'll have to look.
Yeah, I gotta look into that more.
Fils-Aimé.
Let's go on here, Miss Llewellyn.
Had a hit on our hands.
Donkey Kong, just like, whether it was because it was an early game, one of the first games that I saw, or whether it was just because there was some, magic in there, it was Miyamoto's first game, right?
Yeah, he does have a book out.
Nailed it. It just did everything perfectly. Every bit of that game was tuned perfectly. The graphics and the gameplay went together perfectly. It had just the right level of concreteness and abstractness and weirdness to kind of hook you, and the music's fantastic.
What was fun about it was the pure
Ted Price
of the game.
I know who you
There's
are.
a whole lot that you had to do.
He's the Spyro guy, right?
Yeah, he's the guy who founded Insomniac.
It was fairly sophisticated in terms of the timing.
A lot of Sony people on this episode, ironically enough. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So
I guess they couldn't really get any Nintendo people.
Yeah, they're all speaking Japanese. That's why.
Yeah,
they only had so much effort to translate. They got Miyamoto. That was the best that they could get.
Was that so? Wait, that was not old Miyamoto footage. Like this is for they got Miyamoto for this in particular.
Yeah, he probably was in town for I think like an E3 or something because G4 was heavily based out of California around this time.
I wonder how much he asked. How much he asked for to do this.
I don't know. I think it was a journalist thing, so I don't think they were paid necessarily. It was part of like a media tour or something. I mean, most of the devs they got here are based out of California as well, too. You know, Ted Price, Insomniac was based out of California. Naughty Dog, they're based out of obviously SoCal.
Yeah.
So
you had to get your jumps just right. You had to move up the ladders at just the right time, and there were patterns that you could eventually learn to win.
With its massive success,
It seems most game studios are West Coast based. Do you know why that is? With the exception of Retro, they're in Austin, if I remember correctly, but everyone else is in California or Washington.
I think it's just because of the tech boom.
Oh, okay.
That's probably where it happened, because a lot of also the technology that they deal with, they have to travel to Korea, Taiwan, and Japan, obviously.
Taiwan, you know all about Taiwan, right? You 40-year-old Taiwanese guy.
Yeah, exactly. But that's also what I'm guessing, is that it's just big populations, nice weather, tech industries there.
Yeah.
Flights aren't as long to go from,
That's why a lot of them are
Asian countries.
That's why a lot of them lean a certain direction politically too.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of studios that are based out of some places, like Insomniac has another game studio in North Carolina. Rockstar famously is based out of like UK and New York area.
Yeah.
Midway was obviously Chicago.
What if it was named after the airport? Now that I think about it.
Yeah, or just in general, just Monsters of the Midway. It's just kind of like you go with that a little bit too.
Mm.
I mean, Raven's based out of Madison, Wisconsin.
Raven.
They made the Star Wars games, Jedi Knight.
They made Dark Forces as well.
They did not make Dark Forces, I think.
Was that LucasArts?
It was LucasArts, but Raven started to take on a lot bigger roles back in the day with some bigger studios.
Oh, okay. Raven.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's continue.
Hollywood long to notice Donkey Kong. But the kind of attention the game gets isn't what Nintendo is expecting.
We had Donkey Kong, and loosely it was based on the King Kong story, of course. Big Ape takes the blonde girl, climbs up a skyscraper, and somebody has to rescue her. Of course, Nintendo said, no, this is not based on King Kong at all, because Universal owned the license, or at least it was perceived that they owned the license at the time.
They got sued by the movie studio for violating the copyright on King Kong.
Sure enough, after the creation of Donkey Kong, Universal actually sued Nintendo and said, you're infringing on our rights of this old movie property.
But the courts ruled that Nintendo had not infringed on Universal's rights with Donkey Kong.
Get
not
stuffed.
Only that, Universal is ordered to pay the Japanese game company $1.6 million.
Yeah, they were declared. It was declared public domain, like 5-6 years before this. So yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, so this was the beginning of Nintendo's winning streak with lawsuits. There you go.
Yep.
Yes,
I think what was it? I mean, it was. I know Howard Lincoln was the one that I think he was the one that discovered that King Kong was, because Universal was in another lawsuit in the 70s, and they won by declaring King Kong or something public domain, and so they find out about that. And I think wasn't Kirby the lawyer that helped him?
I think so. I think that's where the name Kirby comes from.
Yeah. Like Mario was the landlord of the original Nintendo of America headquarters, office. Mario Segali.
Well, we'll hear about this here.
And punitive damages. Ironically, at the same time, a number of Donkey Kong knockoffs begin to appear.
I guess we won't. Never mind.
Donkey Kong was so successful that within no time you had all these clones that popped up. I think the most infamous one is Crazy Kong,
Crazy
Not
Kong.
only shares the Kong title, but it's the exact same game. You know.
Is that why there's
Instead
no
of
Crazy
lining up
Kong
and going
character
ram, ram,
in Donkey Kong
around.
because of this
I don't know.
fake off?
I feel like Nintendo would just have taken it over by now.
Yeah, you'd think.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like the same. It looks like the same. It looks like the same game.
It is the same game.
It's different. I mean, obviously holy crap, Donkey Kong's very orange.
This is YouTube content creating. Just page right up here.
Yeah.
It's everything. It's pretty much the exact same thing. Even the
Yeah.
umbrellas are in the same place.
Except that looks like a Yoshi egg on the right. Or I don't know what that is supposed to be.
I have no idea.
So, there's subtle differences. If you didn't know, you'd probably not notice it. But imitation is the biggest form of flattery. And the moment these video game companies saw this huge success, Donkey Kong, they wanted to duplicate it.
And the next version of the game hits in late 1982. This time, Donkey Kong becomes a more sympathetic character.
Yeah, they originally wanted to make Donkey Kong the protagonist, but the sprite was too big, so they created Donkey Kong Jr. basically, and they wanted the Nintendo still wanted Donkey Kong on the screen, so they basically that's where they got the idea to have him caged up, and then they're like, who would cage him up? Well, Mario. So Mario was up there too. So Mario and Donkey Kong were up on the top of the screen while you played as this new character. I'll be honest, to this day, I'm surprised they haven't tried to add Donkey Kong Jr. to the Kong family.
Yeah,
like I think it's overdue.
I do agree with you on that one.
Instead of having the bad monkey steal the girl, you had the roles reversed. You had Mario kind of in a more
Unless our current Donkey Kong is Donkey Kong Jr. That's something they haven't really ever tried to confirm.
It would be interesting, though.
Because I think it's confirmed that Cranky Kong is the original Donkey Kong. So they've said in the first game they say Cranky Kong is Donkey Kong is Cranky Kong's lazy grandson. But then I think in other games they said he's just his son. So which is it? I don't think they've really ever cared to make up their mind about that. So maybe Donkey Kong is Donkey Kong Jr.
Exactly. Let's find out.
It brought back the same familiar characters, and it was cool to see them in a different context.
Oh, the keys.
It was interesting to see how well sequels can really tap into your psyche. If you have fallen
I think I spent more time playing Donkey Kong Jr. than I played Donkey Kong.
I don't think I've ever played either. Well, I played Donkey Kong,
was cool.
but I never
What's
played
interesting
Donkey Kong
about Donkey
Jr.
Kong Jr. as well is that it introduced the new characters, and that was one of the first times that I've seen that in games.
Donkey Kong has gone from being a small-time chimp to the king of the arcades. But how much longer will Nintendo's unique franchise be able to continue its reign?
Murder Mario.
Good.
By 1983, after 2 successful arcade games, Donkey Kong is a true phenomenon. Soon, a third Donkey Kong game appears, where once again Kong is shown as a villain. But the game isn't as well received as the previous titles.
Yeah, you shoot him in the dick.
Kong 3 in the bug house, and you had to spray out Donkey Kong's ass.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's sort of a fringe Donkey Kong game.
I didn't know this existed.
I don't know if it was from the very beginning destined to be a Donkey Kong game, or if it started out as something else you're trying to push to the top of.
It was
the
probably
bug house,
started
and then just get
something
Donkey Kong in
else.
there to-
Yeah, I could see
The
that.
once mighty Kong begins to fall.
Some would say this is the Dino Crisis 3 of Donkey Kong games.
I still have to beat the first Dino Crisis.
A few more titles are released, such as Donkey
Oh,
Kong
an
Jr. Map
edutainment-
for the
an
Famicom
edutainment
in
game?
1983, but interest in the series is waning.
AC, you got to buy and review that game for us.
Donkey Kong kind of disappeared was because Mario was the interesting character. Mario was the guy you were playing. As a player, that's who you identify with. Donkey Kong himself, if that's who Donkey Kong really is, the big ape, was kind of a side note.
Mario became their bankable hero, and they really were focusing on the Mario franchise for so long that I think Donkey Kong just took a backseat for a while.
That makes sense.
But in 1994, 13 years after it first debuted,
That's crazy.
the Donkey Kong series makes a comeback, thanks to a development house in the UK called Rare.
In 1993, Rare Limited, an English company that was a partner of Nintendo's, got permission to use Donkey Kong, a character that Miyamoto had created, to make a game called Donkey Kong Country.
So Donkey Kong was basically dead for 11 years, if the math holds up right here.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, they re-released Donkey Kong Classics in the late I think it was 88 or something. So they tried to they were testing it. Apparently, I think enough copies sold. So what's funny is this came out roughly at the same time that the Game Boy game came out. And I didn't even know about the Game Boy game until recently. I mean, I'm currently playing it on the Switch Online. I mean, that the Game Boy game was just basically, it wasn't just a remake. They expanded the original game. So you play the original game, and then all of a sudden it becomes like Mario versus Donkey Kong. But with you have like there's Mario 2 elements, like you can pick up stuff and throw them. That mechanic's in there. So it's basically like that, and there's like 100 levels. So and like I think 10, like maybe 8 worlds or something, kind of like a typical Mario game. So
yeah.
But yeah, so Nintendo was already working on a Donkey. So Nintendo had already had Donkey Kong on its mind, and then of course the guys that founded Rare, they buy the they managed to get a hold of that was it the SGX technology, and then they started pre-rendering shit with the pre-rendering stuff, 3D models, polygons, and compressing them into sprites, and then of course you get Donkey Kong Country here, and this game was freaking awesome.
Yeah, this is the first this was the first experience I had with Donkey Kong. When did this game come out? I said 94?
1994.
So I was 2 years old when this game came out, and well, no, I was 3.
Jeez,
I was 3.
You're making me feel old. I was 10.
I know. Well, you should feel old.
Feel
But I want to say when I was around like 5 or something, my mom used to work a lot. So our neighbors, a nice Mexican family, they had 3 daughters. And before we would go to school in the morning, they had a Super Nintendo, and we would take turns playing this game before the school bus picked us up.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Really, really nice folks. They were very helpful.
Which had this very 3D rendered look to it. It was the first game on the Super NES to have that look. It looked great.
I think it was the first time that any of us had seen 3D rendered characters used as sprites in a game.
This still looks good to this day.
From the rest of the games being produced for that generation, just because it was so slick graphically.
Donkey Kong Country was a really good use of the Super Nintendo's abilities as a gaming machine to take some pre-rendered graphics and make the environment look pseudo 3D.
That's that rough
The
claymation
animations
feel a
were
little
great.
bit too.
The characters looked
Yeah.
like they possessed depth. The gameplay was addictive. It was a platformer in the true sense of the word. It established firmly the minecart level as something that all future platformers had to have.
I don't know why there was this 10-year gap between like the last Donkey Kong game and then Donkey Kong Country. It's almost like Donkey Kong's like the Chewbacca of the Nintendo world, like Star Wars, everybody gets a medal but Chewbacca, and it's like in the Nintendo world, like Donkey Kong's always kind of been pushed to the side in favor of Mario and Luigi and stuff, and it's a bummer.
I like that reference. I got a medal but Chewbacca.
I've never heard it. I've never heard it like that
Donkey Kong
before.
Country sells
Same.
more than 8 million copies,
Woo!
setting a record for the best.
Yeah, it was their number. I didn't realize it. It was their number 3 best-selling Super Nintendo game. Well, actually, no. Yeah, number 3.
Yeah, 8 million copies. That's nothing to scratch your nose at, especially back in the day.
I'm trying to remember which game was number 1. Might have been Super Mario World.
Probably one of those ones.
Kong is the good guy. But despite the title's commercial success, some people are critical.
It's the epitome of bad game design. You're asked to collect all these different things that really don't do anything for the player. 5,000 bananas, yay, what does it get me? Nothing. It's just to keep you occupied, make you walk through the same levels again.
It gives you extra lives, buddy.
I did an interview where I had Tim Stamper.
I
the
died a
creator of
billion
Donkey Kong
times
Country.
first time playing this.
It was Tim Stamper, creator of the Donkey Kong Country.
He's one of the rare founders. Tim and
Eric.
Not Tim and Eric. Nah, sorry.
After Donkey Kong, they made a hit Adult Swim TV show.
Yeah. That's what they did. After they sold Rare.
Tim Stamper's real name is Tim Heidecker.
Yeah, Tim Heidecker. Yeah.
Well, let's hear what Tim has to say.
And Shigeru Miyamoto at the same time. And Miyamoto was ruthless. Miyamoto said things like, Donkey Kong Country proves that Americans will buy a game with mediocre gameplay as long as the graphics are excellent.
Ooh. It was boring. Yet
No, it wasn't. Shut up,
reviews
Pierre.
in the nines everywhere, and people bought it. It's baffling.
And Stamper, just the quintessential English gentleman, sat there and took it. And even though really the anger wasn't meant to be at Stamper, just Miyamoto carved his territory. He marked his area. He was like,
he asserted dominance.
So I heard about this, and I heard there was so much bad. I heard like they had Donkey Kong become the damsel in distress because of this conversation or something like that.
Yeah.
And 2, like, so you didn't play as Donkey Kong in 2 or 3, so I don't know how true that is though.
AC says I abused the barrel code, and this guy must be a noob if he doesn't know 100 bananas equals 1 life, equal to Mario's 100 coin equals 1 life.
He's talking about Pierre. Yeah, I know. Totally agree.
I think what Pear is trying to say here is that it feels like you could do more with the bananas. I guess that's what he was thinking.
Perhaps.
But this is kind of like one of those interesting concepts here, because I never really thought I don't know anything really about the history of Donkey Kong that much, so I'm learning a lot here. But I didn't realize, like you said, like Miyamoto was not really the huge fan of that game, and on top of that too, it sounds like a lot of people, even in the video game industry, who were reviewers and such, also did not have some high opinions about it from time to time too.
That's what it seems. That's what it seems like based on this.
And that's weird to me to hear that, because I have heard nothing but like universal praise and love for this game, like my entire life.
Yeah, it's I guess it's one of those things that it's a new thing and people are very slow to embrace it or something like that. It seems to be like the case with a lot of, especially with a reinvention,
Mm-hmm.
And I mean a lot of pearl clutchers will use that for any excuse now to decry or to criticize the criticizer for any if a franchise goes down the tubes and stuff and people complain about it. So I don't know. Oh, the Star Trek Next Generation wasn't like that, or people didn't like that at first. Yeah, AC. I degraded this stream to Star Trek. All right, there we go. All right.
Well, I feel like when we talk about this, it's also just one of those things where everyone has different views and opinions.
Yeah. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has them, and they all stink.
Well, I think we could go with something like, say, Call of Duty, for example. Every year we hear Call of Duty is trash, garbage.
I've never played a Call of Duty game.
That's funny. That's actually funny that you said that.
I guess I'm too much of a boomer.
Well,
when everyone was buying I forget what the Call of Duty was in 2013. Everyone was buying Call of Duty. I was at the GameStop at midnight buying A Link Between Worlds. I was the only one there to buy A Link Between Worlds, and all these younger millennials were all buying the Call of Duty or whatever.
Yeah.
Was it Black Ops?
They were just like, oh, look at this poor kid who has chemo.
Yeah.
He's here for a Zelda game. He's a trooper.
I kind of want that Mario. I kind of want that Donkey Kong plushie that he has.
I think I want all those plushies, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Note to self: when I'm in Japan, look for those. I know that there's some really expensive Mario merch out there. I think there's one where it was a white Mario that you can draw on. That was like a big deal in Japan.
A white Mario you could draw on?
Yeah.
Really?
I forget what it was, but it was like...
Makes me think of a Fire Flower because, he has the white shirt. Well, actually, never mind. Never mind. I'm thinking the original game.
That's fucked up, Adam. Brian doesn't age, all right? He's the epitome of a man who looks like he was both 16 and 56 at the same time.
People thought I was a teacher when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not joking.
Brian has what we like to call that, like, Benjamin Button genes right there.
Oh, shut up. You're not the first person that said that to me.
No, I have a friend that's just like that too. His name is Justin, and he's looked like a 48-year-old man since he was 14. So
Yeah.
So some people are just stuck in time like that. That's funny.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
People know that he was the greatest.
Despite the opinion some critics have of the game,
Some of the most overrated games are in the Donkey Kong Country franchise.
Rare goes on
Shut
to
up,
turn
Pear.
Donkey Kong Country into a franchise, releasing Donkey Kong Country 2.
Hell
I
yeah.
think that's so funny though. Like Pear is like the biggest Nintendo homer I know for mainstream journalists, and he's like so matter of fact German about like I fucking hate Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I think he's I think didn't he find IGN basically?
Yeah, he was one of the first or one of the founders of IGN. Yeah,
And I think one of the first things he ever did was I think an Ocarina of Time review.
Yeah, I don't know if he's still at IGN. I'm
sure he is.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure. Like I used to watch him and Jose Otero. They used to do it like a Nintendo podcast.
They still do.
And that douchebag Brian Altano.
Oh, Brian Altano is now over on the PlayStation podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So back when I used to listen was when it was Goldfarb and Altano, and I'm trying to remember his name for the other PlayStation guy, but no, Pear was like the Nintendo guy, and it was like Damon Hatfield, I think, was also on with him.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, Damon Hatfield's still around. I know that. I don't know if Pear is. Pear, I think he finally like retired and moved on.
Okay, I think I know who you're talking about now. Okay,
but yeah, I know. No, I remember who was on when I listened to the Nintendo podcast. Do you know who Philip Mewson is?
I mean, if you show me his face, I might recognize. I don't recall the name.
Philip Mewson was the guy who infamously stole a review for a video game. I can't remember which one it was when he worked for IGN. And then
I heard something about that. I've heard. Yeah.
So he got called out by, at the time, Jason Schreier, when Jason Schreier still had credibility in my eyes.
Oh, fuck that guy.
And then he was like, prove it. And then Jason Schreier BTFO'd fucking Philip Mewson horribly with receipts and everything.
Oh, damn.
And
okay, I think I heard something like that. I did hear about plagiarism.
Yeah, so he was on the Nintendo show as well, but then he got caught with plagiarism.
He got fired.
Yeah, he got fired. But yeah, that's when I used to listen to IGN. Now I just, find some random YouTuber and it does the job a lot better.
Yeah, once I saw they gave like Breath of the Wild a 10 out of 10, I was just like, that's just me.
Diddy Kong's Quest in 1995. Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie Kong's Double Trouble, is released in 1996. Soon,
People give that
Donkey
game
Kong
hate.
will
I
take his first
love
step
Donkey
into
Kong
a
Country
whole
3.
new dimension.
I didn't even know it went to 3, to be honest with you.
The N64 makes an appearance.
In 1996, Donkey Kong and his extended family are in the middle of a revival, thanks to games like Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo. But it's not until 3 years later that a full 3D Kong game is released.
I want to play this game this year.
Totally,
Nintendo
you
spares no
got it. It's
expense
awesome.
to hype up the release of Donkey Kong 64.
They depict Karul as Blofeld, basically. He's like a James Bond villain. He's sitting in his chair. He's petting his little crocodile. He's petting his crocodile. You don't see his face right away, and he just sounds so evil. They gave him a Darth Vader type of breathing. I don't know why they did that, but they're really trying to hype him up as this big bad.
Yeah. My favorite Kong game, AC says. And we got my wife joining us saying hi. She's out delivering right now, so hi.
Hi,
Sandra.
how are you?
Copies, but the response from critics is mixed.
I remember the Donkey Kong.
This game was also mixed? What? This is another one of those games that's universally loved by me, by everyone I talk to.
I remember people complaining. I remember reading up on complaints about this one.
I've never known this. This is blowing my mind. So Donkey Kong is trash. That's what I'm learning today, huh?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
I gotta rewind just a wee bit here because I want to hear what Ted. I think this is Ted Price. I want to hear what he has to say. Hold on a second.
9 million copies, but the response from critics is mixed.
I remember the Donkey Kong 64 was fairly frustrating.
I really enjoyed that game. I just thought it was great.
I was a little bit disappointed.
Normally, it's not too cool to harshen other people's games in this industry, but man, there were too many collectibles in that game.
What is going on today? What am I learning here? I've never heard these complaints in my entire life. This is wild. This is like waking up and realizing like your dad's a serial killer one day. I don't understand what's going on here.
I mean, the whole concept of collectathon, you know, I mean, I guess stems from these games, I guess.
Yeah, and here AC called it. He's probably a little bit behind, but yeah, that's exactly what Ted was basically saying and everything else too. People didn't like how massive the collecting aspect was in the game. And Mike says, I remember waiting to get the original copy of DK64, but never got it. I was a mere toddler back then, around 4 or 5. Yeah, so you're pretty young.
Damn, you guys are making me feel old.
You should, you fucking boomer.
But yeah, the whole collectathon thing. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, it's a lot of this, you know, 3D platformers like stems from Mario 64. I mean, you were collecting stars, you were collecting coins, you were collecting. Were you collecting anything else?
Watermelons. It looks like right here.
Well, no, Mario 64. This game. You had 5 Kongs, 5 different colored bananas for each Kong. So when you played as one Kong and you saw the different colored bananas, they would be like they'd be like translucent. You couldn't collect them, you know. So, but you knew they were there. Same with the coins. Like, I kind of get why they're talking. Like, you had to collect so much because you played as 5 different Kongs. So you had to take them in order to beat a level completely. You had to use all 5 Kongs and basically, you know, use each of their abilities, and you had to collect all the coins, there was the dude with there was the mole dude that had all the blueprints.
Yeah.
Each, like, there was different colored blueprints. Like, purple was tiny, blue was, I think, chunky, green was lanky, red was Diddy, obviously, and yellow was Donkey. So you had to find a lot of collectibles. I remember, I think the one that took me the longest was the cove, the pirate cove, the underwater, the one underwater level in Donkey Kong 64.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, I think the castle was underwater. Had some underwater stuff to that too. I don't know. AC can confirm. It's been a while since I played.
Yeah, he says, dude, the value you get out of DK64 at the time was insane. You could play the game all year round to be satisfied.
Yeah,
and be satisfied.
Not wrong. He's not wrong.
My boy, Slipper Boy Snide.
I forget. Oh yeah, I forgot what the watermelon. Oh, you like? I think you collected the oranges. Like, the oranges were like grenades, basically.
Mm.
I forgot what the watermelons were for. Or the watermelons were the life. If I remember, the watermelons were life. If I remember, yeah.
This feels racist. That's what I'm gonna say. Got a giant monkey picking up watermelons.
Yeah. Yeah.
The symbolism.
I mean, no, I was gonna say Japan, but no, this was UK.
Watermelon for health. Oh, it's different there. Racism doesn't exist.
Maybe they're having a lot. Maybe they're having a problem now because of this game. Maybe that's why the UK is gone. It's not.
That's why it's not on Nintendo Online yet, because of racism.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's funny.
I was really put off by the amount of collecting of bananas that I had to do and how I had to.
Hey, you got
switch
to collect
certain
transport
color
places.
banana.
I had trouble keeping track of what I was supposed to be doing at any time.
It was a game that I did finish, but as a game developer, I felt I should complete the
You
game.
got to shoot
but
those
not as a
banana
gamer, a
balloons.
game
I
that
remember.
really wanted to.
Yeah.
The coconut gun, the peanut gun.
I just like listening to these developers like really just tell you like I did not like this game, but out of professionalism, I can't fully shit on it.
Yeah.
It really does sound like they hate it. It's so funny here. Let's listen to that again.
Complete the game, but not as a gamer, a game that I really wanted to play to the end.
Just out of
It was
professionalism.
Donkey Kong 64 where I actually stayed in that world for quite some time. It was really neat how it just opened right up and it was very vast.
So I guess this game was made
It's
for
like
women
building on
because the
these
woman
characters
liked it
that
the most.
You've had this history with for years and years.
I think it was a noble attempt to bring it into the Donkey Kong Country franchise into 3D. They had created a strong cast of characters that were expanding on the Nintendo 64.
You had to get the expansion. You had to incorporate the expansion accessory in order to play this one.
I just think that, you know, I mean, there's high points
The game
and
came
middle
with
points
it.
and low points in games,
Yep.
and this was somewhere in that range. I don't think they were just trying
Oh, yeah,
to
the
cash
armadillo.
in and make a
Yeah.
mediocre game sell because of a strong license.
He's the Darth Vader.
I think it was a real attempt at making a hit game.
I think
I
it
hated
was
those guys.
a technological achievement. Developing free-roaming 3D platformer was difficult, and they did a good job of it. But the choices that players had were overwhelming.
Today, more
You know what? New theory. They hated Donkey Kong 64 so much they said, "Fuck it, we'll make our own platformers."
Yeah.
Because at this time, you gotta think about it. Right after that, they made Ratchet and Clank and Jack and Daxter. Those two guys right there.
Yeah. Like
It-
I'm taking it where those games were not nearly as big collectathons.
Not really, no. Like they had collectible element.
What
Well,
was
no,
the-
that's not
What
true.
was the mechanic? I mean, what's the main mechanic of Ratchet? Or what were the
You have to
mechanics
collect
of
bolts in Ratchet and Clank, but it's more about the gunplay in Ratchet and Clank and the puzzles and stuff.
What are the bolts? What do the bolts help you build something or something?
They give you
or-
weapons and stuff and
Oh,
health and
weapons.
everything. But
Okay.
but Jack and Daxter was way more of a collectathon too. But I don't think that was that Naughty Dog's guy's his issue was it was a collectathon too much. I think that was Ted Price's more issue with that one.
Yeah. They were overwhelmed. Yeah, they were overwhelmed by what they had to
10
do.
million Donkey Kong games have been sold for handheld gaming systems, while over 28 million have been sold for consoles.
Oh, wow.
It's a character that has everything that's needed to be huge. He's very identifiable. He has a personality. He's silent, but he still has that strong personality. He's funny. And I think that Donkey Kong certainly has a chance of being as big in the future as he was in the past.
In 2004, a collection of new Donkey Kong titles are announced, including Donkey Kong Jungle Beat and Donkey Konga.
Did you ever play Donkey Konga?
Nope. I kind of want to play Jungle Beat though. Now that I see it, you had to play with the bongo controls or something. I was just like, oh, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I never played that one, but I heard it's actually really good.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
While Donkey Kong has had his share of failures and success, there is no denying his place in gaming history.
All games these days are really standing on the shoulders of giants. Games like Donkey Kong. We take our lessons from all of those games that were kind of hammered home when we were kids.
That felt like the most hard thing for him to think of at that time. Like he was reading from a script, or he was high and he was trying to get through that one.
Yeah.
You see the same types of gameplay appearing over and over again in today's best games. Donkey Kong definitely deserves a place in the pantheon of character gods. Donkey Kong is one of my favorites. A lot of people remember him fondly and still hope that he comes out.
I like how this guy is very 2000s, early 2000s. Like we get it, bro.
I'm taking he's still not. I'm taking he's not at.
Oh no, he's not
anymore.
He's not at Naughty Dog anymore. No, but he definitely is performing on his Offspring's cover bands every weekend. Still, that's for sure. That's what he looks like.
I guess he looks pretty fly.
Yeah, he does for a white guy. That is.
Yeah.
With yet another game, and he relaunches himself into preeminence. And I don't really think there's any fundamental reason why he can't.
Well, Donkey Kong, they play up that he's the strongest of the group, likes to have a good time. They put the necktie on him to show that he's got a little bit of personality to him. Very lovable character.
The thing about Donkey Kong that makes him a great character is he's got like the Zen of Kong, right? He's this kind of complicated character. Is he a friend? Is he an enemy? And you know, they've done some things with him over time, but I don't think they've ever really like completely explored the character to like really know what makes
he's a hedonist. He likes his banana hoard. He goes on adventures when people steal his fucking bananas.
Because that was really the first time where I was recognized for my work in game design. I mean, up to that point,
see, look at that. He has not aged.
Yeah,
he still looks the same. Look at he looks like fucking a vampire, right?
Yeah. Look at that pale, like, yeah. It's the genes. It's the. I'm gonna sound problematic, but it's the Asian genes, you know, like they don't gray until like they're 75, you know. It's wild.
It's the Asian cigarettes that he's smoking.
The Asian cigarettes.
Yes, that's what it is. They're the Hokkaido classics that he would fucking smoke probably. Just dried them out.
Yeah, I have. I think because when I was making one of my older videos, I have footage of Miyamoto like running like a design meeting at Nintendo. I think it was for Mario 3, or maybe it was Mario World. It was one of those games. I'll have to watch it again. It's all in Japanese. I have no idea what they're saying. But yeah,
AI can help.
And he looked young then. He looked like he was like in his late 30s. He looked like he was in his 20s.
He looks like a Japanese grandma in this photo, and I can't unsee it.
He does. Yeah, I
can't unsee it. It's just this really badly angled. He looks like the
he's only like 5'2". If you ever seen like him walking next to like other people, he's only 5'2", 5'3". He's a small dude.
He kind of reminds me of the. Have you ever seen Kung Fu Hustle?
No.
Oh, never mind then. You won't get that reference. So, but I'll leave it at that then.
Mostly by technical people, and it was really the first time that a designer had
like how does he look older in a younger photo than this one?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here? Like, what's going on with these angles? I'm guessing he would have been a great fucking spy. All right.
Probably.
Like, I don't understand.
With that look right there with the like the little turtleneck thing going. Yeah, he does. He looks like something out of like a 1970s thriller.
Like he looks like right here, he looks like the Asian doctor from House, and then over here he looks like fucking modern day. Oh fuck, what's his name?
Kind of looks like a Karen a little bit.
Who's the gay guy from Star Trek? George Takei. He kind of looks like George Takei a little bit here.
Not really.
A little in the face. It's the cheekbones.
No. Oh my!
The game and been recognized for that work.
Yeah, it's like
George. Why does his style just always creep me out? I don't know what it is. Like him and Mark Cerny. Like those.
Which one's Mark Cerny?
He's the PlayStation guy.
Oh, I don't know.
Like those two like creep me out how they smile. It's like they always have that like weird twisted smile. All right, and that will do it for today's episode of G4 Icons.
Yeah. It takes me back. Thanks for having me watch this. I mean, I haven't seen this one, or maybe I have. I don't even remember if I've ever watched this, but yeah, just watching like just 2000 stuff G4 just takes me back.
Yeah.
To wonderful era of getting it. Just looking forward to the next Nintendo, the next Nintendo iteration to come out. I mean, GameCube era was. I mean, was it GameCube era? Yeah, it was right before the Wii. So I was noticing like I remember seeing Twilight Princess images in magazines and online, and I was blown away by like how good it looked, how good that came out, and Oblivion came out was just around 2005 2006. So yeah, this was a very interesting time for gaming. Like it was just like a big shift in like the quality of graphics. And honestly, I think it peaked around 2011 2012. I mean, I don't know.
I just think
I'm sure you guys will disagree with me on that, so I don't know.
I just think it's very interesting, everything going on. My wife just came home, so now my dogs are probably going to just barking them on the fence right now. So Brian, what after watching all that stuff and kind of going with, it ended right at the GameCube era. What do you think about Donkey Kong going forward? And just kind of speak for yourself while I let my dogs downstairs so they're not yelping.
Sure. I mean, right now, going forward, they just came out with Bonanza, so it's interesting to see that instead of making a new 3D Mario game, they actually, Koizumi and his team ended up going with Donkey Kong. I mean, that just blew me away. It's interesting that Nintendo is actually making a Donkey Kong, is actually going forward with is basically reviving the Donkey Kong series in house. And basically what I read, and I don't know how true this is, but apparently they want to make more 2D, and they want to make. I mean, they're going to keep making 3D games, but they want to make 2D games as well. So I'm curious if they're putting Mario aside, like 3D Mario aside, in favor of Donkey Kong, or they're going to have another team work on Mario. So I'm really curious about that. But yeah, the whole digging, smashing mechanic is relatively new to me. I mean, we did get that at the end of Odyssey with running around as Bowser, smashing things to get the hell out of that moon the moon core or crater or whatever. But it's I don't know. It's taking me some getting used to. Like I got bored with it at points, but I'm playing it again. Everyone's saying it's good, so obviously I am questioning myself. I'm questioning I'm questioning my own feelings, and I'm striving forward. And I'm playing the game, and I want to get close to the end. And yeah, one of my friends said that the last 5 layers is just crazy and all that. So, but everyone I know who has played this has loved it. So
yeah.
So
no, go on.
So I'm gonna keep playing it and give it the benefit of the doubt. And I gotta prove AC wrong that I'm not a LARPer that just is not an actual fan of Donkey Kong and actually likes to, doesn't just like to talk about it. So I have to prove them wrong.
Oh, don't worry. I'm a fake fan for you, so you don't have to worry about that.
Thank you.
But it's fine because AC is a tourist, and
he totally.
So there you go. He's only played 2 Donkey Kong games, 64 and Bonanza. So there you go.
No, I think he told me he played the country games. I think.
Don't trust him. He's a liar.
He is a liar. Okay.
He's a liar.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, liar.
Yeah, we met him.
Yeah, we did. I met him twice.
No, we're kidding. We're kidding, of course.
Or are we?
I don't know. Maybe we are the liars.
Yeah, maybe we're the LARPers. Get the fuck out.
More than that.
But yeah,
I'm sorry. He played Donkey Kong. We gotta give him that. That's the other.
Yeah. So
he played 3 Donkey Kong.
But yeah, just to sum this up, it's been. What's funny is I conflate original Star Trek with Donkey Kong because I got those for the holiday, and that those were like I would either be playing Donkey Kong on Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
And then if I wanted to take a break, then I go. And I was sick quite a bit in 5th and 6th grade, so I'd be staying home a lot. My parents would go to work, so I had to hustle myself, 12-year-old.
Yeah.
So I'd be either replaying Donkey Kong Country 2 or playing the new Donkey Kong Country 3 because we couldn't afford N64. So I would.
Yeah.
But for that Christmas, I got the third Donkey Kong Country. I was playing it. I just loved
You're
playing. I
breaking
just
up
loved,
a little bit, Brian, just to let you know.
I just loved playing those levels, and basically, exploring and trying to find the bonus barrel.
Yeah.
Basically, in order to get the bonus coins that allowed you to, I think you had to collect 15 of them. There's one per level, or no, not one. There were two per level, and two it varied between 2 and 3. So 2 took me 3. I was able to beat 100% before I could beat 2 100% because 2 I wasn't sure how to indicate whether or not I got all the bonus coins in a level, and then I think I finally figured it out and I was able to complete it. But that took me years. But I just like the idea of there was more than just going from point A to point B in the Donkey Kong Country level. Like you had to actually, look in places that you didn't think you had to look to find a bonus barrel. And then of course they added like another collectible, was like the DK coin, which was basically just there for you could brag about being the best hero or something like that. So you actually at the end of 2, you had like a a version of Mario and Link and Yoshi. And then once you got like all the 100% of all those coins, you were the number 1 hero. You beat out Mario to do that. So yeah, Yoshi was number 2 and Link was number 3. I always had a problem with that. I would have reversed that. I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong. I like Yoshi.
I love Yoshi.
I think Link should have been number 2.
Yoshi's my boy, and my wife is also a big Yoshi fan now.
Yeah, I'm really curious about the Super Mario Galaxy movie, even though I personally at this point it looks like the Super Mario Odyssey movie, not the Super Mario. I mean Rosalina was confirmed, obviously, but maybe they're just keeping all the space stuff like under tight wraps or something like that.
I think we'll see, right?
Maybe it'll be the second half of the movie.
I don't know. I don't want to speculate. It looks like it's going to be fun. The first movie was fun. The theme park is actually fun too. Universal's theming is really good.
Me and AC went there. Yeah, it was okay. It was fun.
I think Epic Universe is really good down in Orlando. My wife and I went there last year, and I think they mastered the theming for all the little places that you can go in that park. And I do think if you are planning to go check out a theme park, you should check out Epic Universe over in Orlando. It's really good.
Epic Universe? Okay, I'll write that down.
Like, because they got like their fun land. There's obviously the Nintendo land, but they also have a How to Train Your Dragons land. They have Fantastic Beast Harry Potter land. They got the Dark Universe, which is the classic horror movies. And I enjoyed that one a lot too. The food there is also really damn good, believe it or not.
What was good?
Everything that we ate there was good. They have like cheddar bites that were good. I got spaghetti from the Mario Land that was actually really good. Their ice cream was good.
Did they charge like $1 billion for it?
It wasn't terribly priced, but the merchandise was overpriced.
Because I remember we went to the Simpsons, like we went to the Krusty Burger, and this was like early 2010s. I paid $30 for a Krusty Burger.
Theme park food pricing is insane. I think because I collect popcorn buckets, so like the Disney popcorn buckets are like $20. They're like $25. Mm-hmm. In Universal, they were like $35 for like your average one.
Doesn't surprise me.
Insane. I wanted to buy the Mario Kart popcorn bucket because it was actually him in the Mario Kart. But then I was like, do I really want to spend $35 right now? And the answer was no. I did not feel like it that day.
Yeah.
But I like collecting the popcorn buckets. But we went there for Halloween, and they had a bunch of Halloween-themed popcorn buckets. Like there was a Jack Skellington popcorn bucket. and my wife and I's wedding theme was Nightmare Before Christmas. So
oh, okay. Wow.
gotta
Okay.
get- yeah,
right.
we got married on October 26th, so that's that's why.
I saw that movie for the first
No
time
kidding.
last year. I saw the movie for yeah.
But we're getting off topic. We could talk more about that offline here. But thank you, Brian, for coming on. This was a very fun thing. I learned a lot, and I didn't realize that there was a lot of hatred for some of these games by the critical class.
Yeah, I think that warrants more research. I'm really curious. Like, I want to know, like, if that, like, they hated. I'm wondering if like they hated Miyamoto to the point where that's why they didn't have Donkey Kong as a playable character. in 2
Maybe
and
you
3.
should look into that and do maybe a Chillporial episode on that, or like a video on that too, and maybe get AC involved or some other Donkey Kong fans you know. Exactly.
Who's AC? Yeah,
that weirdo.
weirdo is an understand. I'm kidding.
That
No, I'm
fake
kidding.
Canadian.
Yeah.
That I can't
Yeah,
believe he's
so.
not Canadian.
But honestly though, like the Donkey Kong series has been a big part of why I've appreciated gaming, especially in adolescence. Like that's Mario. I mean, Mario 64 did come out. That was another big, and of course, Zelda Ocarina of Time. Those are two big, cornerstones for my adolescence, because I equate the N64 era to my adolescence. Between those and the Donkey Kong games is the reason why I've played games long after, I graduated high school, graduated college. I mean, I took a break from gaming when I was in high school because I was just too busy. But then when college came, I didn't have nearly as much to do, besides homework and stuff. I didn't have a whole lot of, I had my friend group that that got me to play the Sonic games and all that. But yeah, I mean, it was because of this era in particular that I played all these games for years, and I've always revisited them. I mean, I must have played the Donkey Kong Country games like at least 50 times each game, 50 times over the last 30 years. So yeah, I mean, I don't play nearly as much. I haven't played nearly as much the last couple of years because I'm becoming a sour old man and all that. So then I just don't have nearly as much time because I work a job where I can't just I only have half an hour. I only have half an hour lunch, and I use that to exercise. So and I can't. And unlike AC, like if you ever travel with AC in Japan, he plays. The moment we get on the train, he takes out his Switch and he's playing. And so I was just sitting there like just spacing out, with my ADHD. And he's taking out his game. He's taking out his thing. He's playing like he's already pumping like a good 45 minutes into his game and all that. Even when we were at Universal, when we were waiting in line, he was pumping out his game. I don't know how he does it,
boy,
to be honest. Like, so yeah, he's dedicated. He's dedicated to beating his all those games on your Discord. And all that, so. But yeah, I mean, it's the reason why I still, even to this day, I do appreciate these games, and it just gives me it's made me happy. It's made me happy through lonely times. So it's something I'll always be grateful for.
All right, well, I appreciate you for coming on, and it was very fun. Definitely would like to see you come around a little bit more often every now and then. Just say hi at least, and maybe get you on a couple more episodes down the line.
Are you saying I don't come? Are you saying I don't show up enough? All right, geez. All right, I'll do it.
Yeah, I mean,
Jeez,
just in general,
right.
Just hang out and do some other stuff outside of this thing.
Oh, I mean, I like if I beat a game, I will post it in your Discord. I mean, it's not just gonna be you and AC and Nerdy Neo, arguing and measuring each other's dicks and all that. We'll beat more games. So yeah, I'm part of that. I'll when I beat Donkey Kong Bonanza, I'm gonna post it on your Discord on Games of 2026.
I expect a full review too.
Yes, sir.
All right, before we get stuck into Midwest goodbye, where can the people find you, Mr. Brian, and what do you have coming up, and so on and so forth?
Oh, sure. My channel's the Nerdporial Lifeform. What do I have coming up? Well, I had my Chillporial yesterday. I had my friend Pips of the White Cloaks. We were talking about the movie Few Good Men, and Marines and military stuff in general. And it was a good stream. And then of course the week before I had Feanor on, we were talking Clint Eastwood films. And then the week before, and then I think I had Extra Zero on. If you haven't checked out my Chilporia with Extra Zero, definitely check that out. We were talking gaming, and we were talking my issues at the time with Bonanza. I was able to kind of climb myself out of that. And we talked about Beast Wars and Transformers and all that, because he's a big, massive Transformers fan. So, and we're both the same age. We're both almost the exact same
fucking
age.
boomers.
It was, yeah, both boomers. Yeah. So, yeah, I didn't realize it, but he's got like he's had his channel for a long time. I was watching one. He had a video from 2008. He was talking about like, I think he was talking about like a new like Transformers. It was like, I think one of the movies or something with like a Transformers figure. He was doing like a toy review, and I was like, holy crap, this guy knows his stuff. I don't know shit about toys.
Hey, when are you gonna have me on to talk Blues Brothers?
Well, when I'll have to. I'm trying to figure out who I'm going to have on for February. I haven't thought that far ahead.
I can do something with you for that. I can take a day off if you want.
Blues Brothers? No fucking
I want to talk Blues
way.
Brothers, man. I love Blues Brothers.
No fucking
love that
way.
I want 2 whole chickens and a Coke.
And I want bread. Hey, Elwood. Jake. Yes,
I love that movie. I'm sorry, I could get stuck in it for hours out there.
Aretha Franklin.
That's another time, another topic.
I'm like, every time I hear "Hold On," dun, 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 I'm coming. Dun, dun, I always, it's my favorite. Blues Brothers is my favorite music. It's like probably the only musical I like.
This isn't a Blues Brother episode. We gotta stop. We gotta get stuck in the loop.
I've watched Sound of Music with my mom. That's probably the only other musical I might like to, maybe.
But as I was saying, link for his channel is in the description of this YouTube video. So just go there, hit a hyperlink, just click on his name. It'll take you right to his channel. So go give him a subscription. If you are not sub to him, salt of the earth kind of guy. Always has a very fun, more of a movie take and all that stuff like that, TV shows. So definitely go listen to him if you are looking for something that's more in-depth and fun to talk about for movies and pop culture in general, if you're not always into the video game
and gaming to a degree, retro gaming to a degree. So,
but as for myself, tomorrow night we will be back with video game our weekly recaps with the aforementioned Mr. Angry Canadian. And we are going to be talking about a bunch of other stuff on there too, on the docket. A lot of Microsoft news, a lot of Nintendo news, and this new game that came out that seems to be having some issues called High Guard, and all the stuff around that, as well as some other fun, more levity, more fun, some smaller news and stuff like that as well. And that will do it for us tonight, everyone. Thank you all for stopping by. Happy Thursday. I hope everyone's safe and happy wherever they are, and you're not getting snowed in and destroyed by the cold like we are kind of being out here, because it has sucked. But until next time, everyone, we will see you tomorrow night, same time, 8 p.m.